ॐ गणनां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। निःश्रेण्यो ब्रह्मलोकस्य वाग्देव्याः कर्णकुण्डले धर्मद्रुममहामूले वाल्मीकिव्यासयो कृति कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वं मरोगताम् अजाढ्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने ರಾಮನಾಮವರಾನನ ಓಂ ನಮ ಇತಿ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 2 ಸಬ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 27 ತನಕ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅದು ಐ ಟ್ರೈಡ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೈ ಟ್ಯಾಬಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಅದನ್ನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಅದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟಾಗಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಯ್ ಅಶ್ವಥ್, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್.
Hi. Yeah, long time.
Welcome back. So
Thank you.
Rama has entered, is going to enter the Forestica very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So yes, we'll restart. ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? I'm just...
Yes.
Okay. ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 2 ಅಯೋಧ್ಯಾಕಾಂಡ 28ನೇ ಸರ್ಗ. ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ರಾಮ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೀತೆ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ ಇವಾಗ ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಹೇ ಹಾಯ್ ದೀಪು, ಹಾಯ್, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ರಾಮ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೀತೆ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಇವಾಗ, ಈ ಥರ ನನ್ನ ತಾಯಿ ಆದ ಕೈಕೇಯಿ ಈ ಥರ ನಂಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಧರ್ಮ. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವ್ರ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ ನನಗೆ ಹೋಗದೆ ಇರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ, ಯು ಸ್ಟೇ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಸೀತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ವೇರ್ ಮೈ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಇಸ್? ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾನೋ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆತನವರೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ? ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಜನಕ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯು? ಸೀತೆನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವಾ ರಾಮನಿಗೆ? ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಆಗಲಿ ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್, ರಾಮ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಡಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರದು ನನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೋರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಜಾಯ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್. ಓಕೆ. ಹಾಯ್ ರಶ್ಮಿ, all of you getting back today. I'm glad to see all of you back. Okay. So ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣನಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವನು ಬರಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ವೇ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್. ನೀ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ ಇವನ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ಲಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್, ಐಮ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 2 ಅಯೋಧ್ಯಾಕಾಂಡ 28ನೇ ಸರ್ಗ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಿ. The immensely energetic Rama spoke to Lakshmana, who was in front of him. The brave one joined his hands in salutation. He was waiting there, desiring to proceed in front. O Saumitri, if you leave for the forest with me today, who will take care of Kausalya and the illustrious Sumitra? The immensely energetic king is bound by the noose of desire, as if Parjanya is showering down desire on earth. Parjanya 104 is the god of rain. Another name for the god of rain is Parjanya. Okay. After obtaining this kingdom, King Ashwapati's daughter, that is Kaikeyi, will not act properly and will cause grief to her co-wives. Lakshmana was thus addressed by Rama, who knew about the use of words. The one who was accomplished in words replied in a gentle voice to Rama, O brave one, because of your energy, Bharata will endeavor to worship Kausalya and Sumitra. There is no doubt about this. Because of the arrangements made, the noble Kausalya was given 1000 villages, and those 1000 are enough to ensure her means of subsistence. Okay, so in 106, when he married Kaikeyi, Dasharatha granted the income from 1000 villages to Kausalya. Oh, some sort of a bribe. So when he married Kaikeyi, Dasharatha granted the income from 1000 villages to Kausalya. Okay. Wielding a bow, arrows, and a spade and a basket, I will advance ahead of you, clearing and showing you the path. I will always collect roots and fruits and all other food available in the forest suitable for ascetics. Actually, ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮುಗ್ದಿತ್ತು. We had completed this also. Anyway, ಓದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay. You and Vaidehi will enjoy yourselves along the slopes of mountains. Whether you are awake or asleep, I will do everything. Rama was greatly delighted at the words and replied, O Saumitri, go and take your leave from all your well-wishers. At Janaka's great sacrifice, the great souled Varuna himself gave the king divine bows that are terrible to see. There are divine and impenetrable armor and quivers with an inexhaustible stocks of arrows. There are two swords decorated with gold. They sparkle like the sun. All of those have been carefully kept in our preceptor's residence. Illi preceptor is Vasishta, okay, Guru, in Vasishta's residence. O Lakshmana, collect those and return quickly. Having made his mind up to reside in the forest, he, that is Lakshmana, took his leave from the well-wishers. He took the permission of the preceptor of the Ikshvakus and took those supreme weapons. They were divine, maintained well, and decorated with garlands. Saumitri, tiger among kings, showed Rama all those weapons. When Lakshmana returned, the self controlled Rama cheerfully told him, O Lakshmana, O amiable one, you have returned at the time I wished for. O scorcher of enemies, with you I desire to give away all my wealth to Brahmanas and ascetics and to preceptors who are excellent Brahmanas residing here, firm in their devotion. I also wish to give to all those who are dependent on me for survival. Bring the noble Suyagnya, Vasishta's son, here. Also, quickly bring the best among Brahmanas. I wish to honor all the other excellent Brahmanas and then leave for the forest. Okay. Chapter 2, subchapter 29, Ayodhya Kanda, 29ನೇ Sarga. His brother's command was auspicious and agreeable. Listening to this, he quickly went to Suyagnya's residence. Lakshmana worshipped the Brahmana who lived in the house of fire and spoke to him. This probably means that Suyagnya performed austerities with fires around him on all four sides of them. Okay. O friend, come to the house of someone who is going to perform an extremely difficult task. Having performed the Sandhya rites with Saumitri, he quickly went to Rama's large, prosperous, and beautiful residence, populated by people. On seeing that the one who knew about the Vedas had arrived with Sita, Raghava joined his hands and in salutation and honoring Suyagnya, circumambulated the fire. Kakutstha offered him the best of sparkling earrings and armlets made out of molten gold, gems strung together on threads, bracelets to be worn on the upper arm and bracelets to be worn around the wrist. There were many other jewels too. He honored them back. Urged by Sita, Rama spoke to Suyagnya. O friend, O amiable one, for your wife, Sita now wishes to give a necklace, a golden thread, and a girdle. Please accept them. Girdle is sontak hakolodu. Okay. Vaidehi desires to give you a couch strewn with the best of spreads and decorated with many kinds of jewels. My maternal uncle gave me an elephant named Shatrunjaya. O bull among Brahmanas, I wish to give you that and 1000 other elephants. Thus addressed by Rama, Suyagnya accepted these and pronounced auspicious benedictions on Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. Collected, Rama, who was pleasanted in speech, spoke to his beloved brother Saumitri like Brahma to the Lord of the gods. O Saumitri, both Agastya and Kaushika are excellent Brahmanas. Summon them and worship them with jewels like pouring water on crops. There is a devoted preceptor who serves Kausalya and pronounces his benedictions on her. He knows about the Vedas and the rules that are in conformity with Taittiriya. This is the Taittiriya Upanishad associated with the Yajurveda. O Saumitri, give that Brahmana vehicles, female servants, and silken garments until he is content. The noble Chitraratha has been a charioteer and advisor for a very long time. Satisfy him with extremely expensive jewels, garments, and wealth. Give him 1000 bullocks for carrying grain and 200 bulls for plowing. O Saumitri, give him 1000 cows for sustenance. As addressed, Lakshmana, tiger among men, himself gave away those riches, like Kubera, to the best of Brahmanas who had been named. He, that is Rama, gave away many kinds of objects to each person who was dependent on him. With tears choking his voice, he spoke to the dependents who were present there. Until my return, Lakshmana's house and my house should never be empty. In turn, each of you must ensure this. Thus addressed, all those dependents were extremely unhappy. He instructed the treasurer, bring my riches here. At this, all the dependents brought the riches there. With Lakshmana, the tiger among men, distributed those riches to Brahmanas, children, the aged, and those who were destitute. There was a Brahmana named Trijata. He was born in Gargya's lineage and was tawny in complexion. Till the fifth chamber, no one ever obstructed his path. That is, in visiting royalty, one had to pass through successive gates and chambers with guards at each stage. Usually, the third chamber is regarded as an exclusive preserve. This is superior to the third chamber. Different levels of security clearance. Is it Trijatana? Trijatana gothillange. I'm pronouncing it as Trijata. Rashmi, any idea? Trijata.
Not sure.
I'll go with Trijata. Trijata approached the prince and spoke these words. O immensely illustrious prince, I am poor and have many sons. Look at me. I always earn a subsistence through Unchavriti. As if in jest, Rama replied, I have not given away even 1000 cows so far. Fling your staff, you will get as many as that expands. Anxious, he, that is Trijata, he girded his lower garment around his waist and flung the staff with as much strength and force as he could muster. Rama comforted Gargya's descendant and said, You should not be angry. I said this only in jest. The great sage Trijata was delighted. He and his wife accepted a herd of cows. He pronounced benedictions for the extension of the great souled one's fame, strength, joy, and happiness. Okay. Chapter 2, subchapter 30, Ayodhya Kanda, 30ನೇ Saraga. With Vaidehi, the two Raghavas gave away a lot of riches to Brahmanas. With Sita, they then went to see their father. They took those blazing weapons which were so difficult to look at. Sita adorned them with heaps of garlands. The mansions in the palace were like the tips of celestial vehicles. However, the prosperous and handsome people who ascended them seemed to be indifferent. The roads were full of many anxious people and it was impossible to walk. Therefore, they climbed up to the palaces and distressed glanced at Raghava. Those people saw Rama on foot, having cast aside his umbrella. With their senses distraught because of their sorrow, they uttered many kinds of words. He used to be followed by a large army with the four limbs. A four limbs ಇದಲ್ಲ cavalry, chariots, elephants, horses, and infantry. ನಾಲ್ಕು types of army categories. Yeah. He is now alone with Sita, followed by Lakshmana. He possessed riches. Though he knew about the essence of desire, he is the one who granted objects of desire. Because he revered dharma, he did not desire to make his father's words come false. The people who are on the royal road today can see Sita. Earlier, even creatures that flew through the sky were unable to see her. Sita applied unguents on her body and used red sandalwood paste. What is unguents? I don't know, I think it's some sort of a perfume. Unguent. UN. A soft, greasy, or viscous substance used as ointment or for lubrication. Yeah, some sort of an ointment. Some lotion, maybe. Some lotion. Cosmetic. Sita applied unguents to her body and used red sandalwood paste. Rains, heat, and cold will quickly render her pale. Truly, a spirit that has entered Dasharatha has spoken today. The king should not have exiled his beloved son. Even if a son is devoid of qualities, how can he be exiled? Not to speak of a person who has conquered the world through his qualities. There are 6 qualities that adorn Raghava, best among men: non injury, compassion, learning, good conduct, self control, and tranquility. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಹೆಸರುಗಳೇನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ರಶ್ಮಿಗೆ? ನಾನ್ ಇಂಜುರಿ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಹಿಂಸಾ, probably. Compassion is karuna. Learning is what? Viveka or Vidya. Good conduct, samskara. I don't know. Self control.
ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯನೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಇರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅದೇ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಗೋರಖ್ಪುರ್ ಗೀತಾ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಅದು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಮೈಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ನಾನ್ ಇಂಜುರಿ, ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನ್, ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಗುಡ್ ಕಾಂಡಕ್ಟ್, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ವಿಲಿಟಿ. So, the entire world is afflicted because this Lord of the world is afflicted. Just as a tree with flowers and fruits suffers when its foundation is destroyed. Like Lakshmana is following him, with our wives and our relatives, we will quickly go wherever Raghava is going. Abandoning the groves, fields, and houses, we will follow Rama, who observes dharma, and endure the same kind of happiness and unhappiness. Treasures dug up, that is meaning that the hidden treasures have been dug up and are no longer there. Okay? Treasures dug up, desolate courtyards bereft of grains and riches, the best objects removed in every way, enveloped by dust and abandoned by the gods. Let Kaikeyi enjoy those houses discarded by us. Since Raghava is going there, let the forest become a city. Since we are abandoning it, let the city become a forest. Nice one. Since we have abandoned it, let fanged creatures in holes and animals and birds from the mountains inhabit this place. As long as we were here, they had abandoned it. The large number of people uttered such diverse words. Though he heard them, Rama's mind was not disturbed. Though he saw that the people were distressed, his mind was not disturbed and he seemed to be smiling. Wishing to follow his father's instructions in the proper way, Rama went to see his father. The great souled Rama, the son of the descendant of Ikshvaku, saw that the Sumantra was in front of him, miserable at the prospect of his leaving for the forest. He waited so that he could be announced to his great souled father. He was devoted to dharma and to obey his father's command, had made up his mind to go to the forest. On seeing Sumantra, Raghava told him, "Tell the king that I have come." Chapter 2, subchapter 31, Ayodhya Kanda, 31ನೇ ಸರ್ಗ. Okay. Sent by Rama, the Suta entered quickly and saw the king, whose senses were tormented. He was sighing. The immensely wise one saw that his senses were greatly afflicted. He was grieving over Rama. With hands joined in salutation, the Suta approached. Your son, tiger among men, is waiting at the door. He has given away all his riches to Brahmanas and the dependents. O fortunate one, let Rama, for whom truth is his valor, see you. Having taken his leave of all the well wishers, he wishes to see you now. O Lord of the earth, he will leave for the great forest. See him. He is surrounded by all the royal qualities, like the sun with its rays. That Indra among men, that is Dasharatha, was truthful in speech. He had dharma in his soul. He was like the ocean in his gravity. He was like the sky in cleanliness and replied, O Sumantra, bring all my wives who are present. I wish to see Raghava when I am surrounded by all my wives. He passed through the inner quarters and addressed the women in these words: O noble ones, the king has summoned you. You should go there without delay. Sumantra addressed all those women and told them about the king's command. Knowing about the king's command, they went to their husband's residence. 350 women with coppery red eyes and firm in their vows surrounded Kausalya and went there slowly. When the wives had arrived, the king glanced at them. The king told the Suta, Sumantra, bring my son here. Quickly, the Suta brought Rama, Lakshmana, and Maithili and went to where the king was. From a distance, the king saw his son arriving, hands joined in salutation. Surrounded by the miserable women, he swiftly arose from his seat. On seeing Rama, the king speedily advanced towards him. However, before reaching him, afflicted by sorrow, he fell down on the ground senseless. Rama and Maharatha Lakshmana saw that the king had fallen down, afflicted by sorrow and grief. Mixed with the sound of the tinkling of ornaments, the wails of thousands of women suddenly arose from the palace. Alas, Rama, alas! With Sita, the weeping Rama and Lakshmana raised him with their arms and laid him down on a bed. Soon the king regained his senses, though he was still submerged in an ocean of grief. Joining his hands in salutation, Rama told him, For all of us, you are the Lord. O great king, I seek your leave. I am leaving for Dandakaranya. Look on me with kindly eyes. Permit Lakshmana and Sita to follow me to the forest. Despite being restrained by many kinds of reasons, they do not wish to remain here. O one who grants honors, abandon grief and grant all of us permission, like Prajapati did to his sons. Four, 117, the footnote. Four sages who were created through Brahmas, that is Prajapati's mental powers: Sanat Kumara, Sanaka, Sanatana, and Sanandana. They took Brahma's permission to go to the forest and practice austerities. So Rama waited anxiously for the king's permission to reside in the forest. The king glanced towards Raghava and replied, O Raghava, because I had granted boons to Kaikeyi, I was confused. Imprison me and become the king of Ayodhya today. The king addressed Rama, who was supreme among the upholders of Dharma, in this way. The one who was eloquent in the use of words joined his hands in salutation and replied to his father, O king, may you be the lord of the earth for 1,000 years. I will reside in the forest. I must not act so as to make you false. O son, the critical edition excises some shlokas and this breaks the continuity. This is Dasharatha replying. Sudden Raman dialogue admir takshana Dasharathan dialogue. O son, for your benefit, advance fearlessly along the auspicious path, without any distractions, until you return. O son, however, it is night now, when one should never leave. Do not go today. Spend the night with your mother and me, so that we can see you. Having satisfied yourself with all the objects of desire, leave at the appropriate time tomorrow. Hearing the words spoken by their miserable father, Rama and his brother Lakshmana were distressed. He, that is Rama, spoke these words: Even if we obtain these objects with qualities today, who will give them to us tomorrow? Therefore, without these objects of desire, I wish to leave this place. I have abandoned the earth and this kingdom, full of people, wealth, and grain. May it be given to Bharata. Abandon this grief. Don't let your eyes overflow with tears. The ocean, the lord of the rivers, cannot be assailed and is not agitated. I do not wish for the kingdom, happiness, Maithili, or you. O bull among men, without any falsehood, I desire the truth. Forsaken by me, excuse me, forsaken by me, this city, kingdom, and the entire earth should be given to Bharata. I will follow your instructions. I will go to the forest and dwell there for a long time. Forsaken by me, let this entire earth, with its mountains, boulders, cities, groves, and frontiers, be given to Bharata, so that he can justly rule over it. Let it be the way you have pledged. O king, my mind does not hanker after great objects of desire or what brings pleasure to my own self. As is instructed by the virtuous, I will follow your command. O unblemished one, do not be miserable on my account. O unblemished one, therefore, right now, I do not desire the undecaying kingdom, happiness, or Maithili. When I am associated with falsehood, I do not wish to remain alive. I desire that the pledge of truth should come true. We will eat fruits and roots in the forest. We will see the mountains, rivers, and lakes. We will enter the forest with its wonderful trees. May you be happy. Let us withdraw. Okay. The word used is nivritti, which therefore has the implied sense of withdrawal from the senses and objects of pleasure. Okay. Yeah. Chapter 2, subchapter 32, Ayodhya Kanda, 32ನೇ ಸರ್ಗ. The descendant of the Ikshvaku lineage, Dasharatha, okay, was afflicted because of the pledge he had given himself. He had himself given. Shedding tears, he sighed repeatedly and spoke to Sumantra. O Suta, let an army with the four kinds of forces be prepared. Let it be given all the jewels so that it can quickly follow Raghava. Let the prince's army be extensive. Let it be adorned with courtesans who are good in conduct and extremely rich merchants. Engage all those dependents whose valor he takes delight in and give them many kinds of gifts. Once he kills deer and elephants, tastes honey from the forest, and sees many rivers, he will not remember the kingdom. Let my store of grain and store of riches follow Rama as he goes to reside in the desolate forest. He will then reside happily in the forest. He will be able to summon the rishis and perform sacrifices in auspicious spots, giving away the appropriate dakshina. The mighty armed Bharata will rule over Ayodhya. However, let all the objects of desire be arranged for the prosperous Rama. When Kakutstha spoke in this way, Kaikeyi was overcome by fear. Her mouth went dry and her voice also choked. Pale and frightened, Kaikeyi spoke these words. All the virtuous people will leave the kingdom, and it will be like a vessel from which the liquor has been drunk. It will be empty, bereft of all essence. Bharata will not accept it. Kaikeyi discarded her shame and spoke these extremely terrible words. King Dasharatha spoke these words to the large-eyed one. Having imposed this unfortunate burden on me, why do you strike me when I am bearing the burden? Kaikeyi became doubly angry and addressed the king. It is in your lineage that Sagara cast away his eldest son known as Asamanja. He, that is Rama, should also live in that way. Thus addressed, King Dasharatha said, Shame. All the people were ashamed, but she did not perceive this. There was an aged advisor who was virtuous and was greatly revered by the king. His name was Siddhartha, and he addressed Kaikeyi. Asamanja seized children playing in the streets and flung them into the waters of the Sarayu. The evil-minded one took pleasure in this. On seeing this, all the citizens were angry and told the king, O extender of the kingdom, you have to choose between us and Asamanja. At this, the king asked them, What are you scared of? Thus, asked by the king, the ordinary people spoke these words: When our sons are playing, the foolish one, confounded in his sense, seizes those children and flings them into the Sarayu. He obtains infinite delight from this. Hearing the words of the ordinary people, the king wished to bring pleasure to them and cast aside his inauspicious son. This is what the king Sagara, extremely devoted to Dharma, did. What wicked act has Rama perpetrated that he should be restrained? The king heard Siddhartha's words. In a tired voice and afflicted by sorrow, he addressed Kaikeyi in these words: I will now follow Rama, forsaking the kingdom, happiness, and riches. With King Bharata, you can happily enjoy the kingdom for a long period of time. Chapter 2, Subchapter 33, Ayodhya Kanda, 33ನೇ Sarga. Rama knew about humility. On hearing the advisor's words, he humbly addressed Dasharatha in these words: O king, I have cast aside objects of pleasure to dwell in the forest on forest fare. When I have cast everything aside, why should anyone follow me? If a person has given away the best of elephants, why will he turn his mind to the harness alone? If one has cast aside the best of elephants, why will he have affection only for the rope? O best among virtuous ones, O Lord of the earth, in that way, what will I do with flags and all those who will follow me? Let tattered rags be brought for me. I am going to reside in the forest for 14 years. As I leave, let a spade and a basket be brought for me. At this, Kaikeyi herself brought tattered rags for Raghava. Despite the assembly, she wasn't ashamed and said, Wear these. The king among men accepted the two. There is one as an upper garment, the second as a lower garment. He accepted the two tattered rags from Kaikeyi. Casting aside his fine garments, he wore the garb of an ascetic. In front of his father, Lakshmana also cast aside his excellent clothes and covered himself in an ascetic's attire. Sita, attired in silken clothes, was alarmed, like a deer that sees a snare, on seeing the tattered rags that were meant to be worn by her. She was ashamed and distressed in her mind. She spoke to her husband, who was like a king of the Gandharvas. How do sages who reside in the forest wear these rags? She held one piece against her neck and the other in her hand. Janaka's daughter did not know how to wear these and was ashamed. Rama, supreme among those who uphold dharma, quickly came to her. He himself fastened the rags over Sita's silken garments. She was attired in those tattered rags. Though she had a protector, she was like one without a protector. All the people were angry and said, Shame on Dasharatha. The descendant of the Ikshvaku lineage, Dasharatha, emitted a warm sighs and addressed his wife. O Kaikeyi, Sita does not deserve to go, wearing kusha grass and rags. O wicked one, exiling Rama should be sufficient for you. Why do you again wish to perform this wicked and cruel act? Rama, about to leave for the forest, addressed his father, whose head was lowered down, though he was seated, in these words: My illustrious mother Kausalya is devoted to him. O king, she is aged, but her conduct isn't inferior and she won't censure you. O one who grants boons, without me she will be immersed in an ocean of grief. She has not confronted such a hardship earlier. You should respect her. O king who is like the great Indra, she has great affection for her son. When I am in the forest, she will be afflicted by grief. You should ensure that my mother remains alive and does not live for Yama's eternal abode. Continue ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Chapter 2, Subchapter 34, Ayodhya Kanda, 34ನೇ Sarga. The king was bereft of his senses. With his wives, he heard Rama's words and saw that he was attired in a sage's garment. Tormented by grief, he was incapable of looking towards Raghava. Distressed in his mind, he was incapable of glancing towards him or replying. However, though miserable, the great king regained his senses in a moment. The mighty armed one thought of Rama and lamented. I think that in the past I must have separated several from their children. I must have caused injury to creatures. That is the reason I am now confronted with this. Until the time arrives, life is not separated from the body. Despite being afflicted by Kaikeyi, I am not faced with death. I see my son stationed before me and he is like a fire. However, abandoning his delicate garments, my son is clad in the garb of an ascetic. Indeed, it is because of Kaikeyi's deeds alone that all these people are suffering. Driven by selfish motives, she has brought about this act of deceit. These are the words he spoke, his eyes overflowing with tears. Afflicted by grief, he was incapable of saying anything other than Rama. After an instant, the great king regained his senses, his eyes overflowing with tears. He addressed Sumantra in these words: Arrange a chariot that can be driven and yoke it to excellent steeds. Take this extremely fortunate one from here beyond the boundaries of the habitation. I think that these are the fruits being reaped by someone with qualities by virtues of his qualities. A brave and virtuous person is being exiled to the forest by his father and his mother. Following the king's command, Sumantra, swift in his valour, yoked an ornamented chariot with horses and brought it there. The Suta prepared a chariot decorated in gold for the prince. He joined his hands in salutation and reported that it has been yoked to excellent steeds. The king knew about what should be done at the night time and place and was also clear about everything auspicious. He quickly summoned the person who was in charge of accumulating riches and said, remembering the number of years that has to be spent, quickly bring extremely expensive garments and excellent ornaments for Vaidehi. Thus addressed by the Indra among men, he went to the treasury. He quickly brought everything and offered it to Sita. Vaidehi, born in a noble lineage and beautiful in her limbs, was about to leave for the forest. She adorned her limbs with those wonderful ornaments. Adorned in those excellent ornaments, Vaidehi made the residents look radiant. She was like the sun with rays, arising at the night time and illuminating the sky with its resplendence. Her mother in law engulfed her in her arms. Maithili never did anything that was inferior. She inhaled the fragrance of her head. That is Kausalya and Sita, respectively. Okay. Kausalya inhaled the fragrance of Sita's head and spoke these words: in this world, even though they are respected and loved, false women cease to honor their husbands when they face hardships. Do not disrespect my son who is being exiled. Though he possesses riches, he is poor now. However, he is still your divinity. Sita understood the words spoken full of dharma and artha. She joined her hands in salutation and addressed her mother in law, who stood in front of her. O noble one, I will do everything that you had instructed me. I know how I should conduct myself towards my husband. I had heard this earlier too. O noble one, you should not equate me with wicked women. I am not capable of deviating from dharma, just as the moon cannot be separated from its radiance. Without cords, the veena doesn't make a sound. Without wheels, a chariot does not move. Even if she has 100 sons, a woman does not obtain happiness without her husband. A father gives a limited amount. What a mother and a son give are also limited. What a father gives is unlimited. Who does not worship a husband? O noble one, I have been instructed by the best, those who are supreme upholders of dharma. How can I disrespect him? To a woman, the husband is a divinity. Sita's words penetrated Kausalya's heart, and on hearing them, the one who was pure of heart suddenly released tears because they were a source of both joy and misery. ಓಕೆ. ಓ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದೆ. Rama was supreme in knowledge of dharma. Excuse me. Amidst all his mothers, he joined his hands in salutation and approached his own mother, who was most revered of all. He spoke these words: O mother, you should not be sad. Look towards my father. The period of dwelling in the forest will soon be over. The period of 14 years will pass, as if you were sleeping. You will see me return here surrounded by well wishers. He spoke these words to his mother and they conveyed deep meaning. He then glanced at the 350 mothers. 126, the stepmothers. So he had 356. Wow. 365, 356. Okay. So 350 mothers. So plus, I don't know if the 350 is including Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi or excluding Kausalya, Sita and Kaikeyi. Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. Okay. So in a similar way, joining his hands in salutation, Dasharatha's son then spoke similar words, full of dharma and artha, to those distressed mothers too. While I reside here with you, if I said anything harsh or if I did anything in ignorance, please pardon me. Now I seek my leave from all of you. As Raghava spoke in this way, the sounds of lamentations arose from the king's wives, like those of curlews waiting. In former times, Dasharatha's residence used to resound with the sound of tambourines and drums, like the roar of thundering clouds. Because of the hardship, there was now the sound of extremely miserable wails and lamentations. Okay, we'll continue in 946. Chapter 2, subchapter 35, Ayodhya Kanda, 35ನೇ Sarga. The miserable Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana joined their hands in salutation. They bowed down before the king and circumambulated him. Having taken his leave, Raghava, who knew about dharma, with Sita, bowed down before his mother, who was confounded by grief. Lakshmana followed his brother and bowed down before Kausalya. He next touched the feet of his mother, Sumitra. He worshipped his mother, who was weeping. For the sake of the mighty armed one's welfare, she inhaled the fragrance of Lakshmana's head and addressed Saumitri. Because you are devoted to your well-wisher, that is Rama, I have permitted you to reside in the forest. O son, do not fail to take care of Rama, your brother who is leaving for the forest. O unblemished one, whether it is prosperity or adversity, he is your refuge. In this world, that is the dharma of the virtuous, being obedient to an elder. This is the eternal appropriate behavior for his lineage. Donations, consecration for the sacrifices, and giving up one's body in battles. No Rama to be like Dasharatha, no Janaka's daughter to be like me. Know the forest to be Ayodhya, O son, depart cheerfully. Knowledgeable about humility, Sumantra joined his hands in salutation and humbly spoke to Kakutstha like Matali. Indra's charioteer.
Matali.
Matali. Okay. He spoke to Kakutstha like Matali. To Vasava. Indra, Vasa. O fortunate one, O immensely illustrious one, ascend the chariot. O Rama, I will quickly take you to whichever place you tell me to. You will have to reside in the forest for 14 years, as has been instructed by the queen. That period has commenced. That chariot was like the sun. Having ornamented herself, the beautiful hipped Sita ascended it with a cheerful mind. The brothers also ascended with weapons and armor that they had laid down on the firm leather seat of the chariot. On seeing that Sita, the third one, who had also ascended, Sumantra urged the respected horses, which were as fleet as the speed of the wind. For many nights, Raghava departed for the great forest. It was as if the city's strength had been snapped, as if people had lost their senses. The city used to emit a great sound because it was full of crazy, intoxicated, and respected elephants, and because of the neighbor neighing of the horses and linking and tinkling of their ornaments. That city was greatly afflicted. Children and aged towards children and aged rushed towards Rama, like a person who is suffering in the summer rushes towards water. Their long and anxious faces could be seen at the rear and towards the sides. All of them were extremely miserable, and their faces were overflowing with tears. They said, O Suta, hold back the reins of the horses and proceed slowly. We wish to see Rama's face, which will become extremely difficult for us to behold. Therefore, there is no doubt that Rama's mother's heart is indeed made of iron. It had not got shattered despite her son, who is like a god leaving for the forest. Vaidehi is doing what should be done and is following her husband like a shadow. She is devoted to dharma and does not abandon it. Like Meru does not forsake the radiance of the sun, O Lakshmana, you are always pleasant in speech. Since you serve your brother, who is like a god, you have become successful in your objective. This is a great success and is this is a great success and is a great accomplishment. Since you are following him, this is a path to heaven. Incapable of restraining their tears, they spoke in this way. The king was miserable in his mind and was surrounded by the grieving women. Saying that he wished to see his son, he emerged from his house. Ahead of him, the great sound of lamenting women could be heard. This was like the wailing of female elephants when a large male elephant has been tied up. The father, King Kakutstha, used to be handsome, but he seemed shrunken, like the full moon when it has been enveloped in an eclipse. When the men saw that the king was distressed and extremely miserable, a tumultuous sound arose from Rama's rear. Someone said, Alas, Rama. Others said, Alas, Rama's mother. All those in the prosperous inner quarters started to weep and lament. As he glanced back, Rama saw his father and mother falling on the path, distressed and not in control of their senses. He was bound in the noose of dharma and could not look at them directly. They deserved happiness and did not deserve this unhappiness. Though they deserved vehicles, they were on foot. On seeing this, he instructed the charioteer to drive swiftly. The tiger among men caught the miserable sight of his father and mother and could not bear it, like an elephant struck by a goad. The weeping Kausalya ran after the chariot wailing, Alas Rama, Rama, alas, Sita, alas Lakshmana. His mother seemed to be dancing and he could not stand the sight. The king said, Wait, Raghava. Raghava said, Go, go. Sumantra was caught between the two as if in the midst of a whirlpool. Rama told him, It is wicked to witness their grief for a long period of time. When the king berates you later, you can say that you did not hear him. Hearing Rama's words, the charioteer acted in accordance with them. He took his leave of the people and urged the horses to proceed even faster. Circumambulating Rama mentally, that is, obviously they couldn't do it physically. Okay. Circumambulating Rama mentally, the king's attendants returned. The king's attendants returned. However, the men were incapable of controlling the flow of their tears. The advisors addressed the great king Dasharatha in these words: If one wishes for a person to return, one should not follow him for a long distance. The king heard their words, which were full of all the qualities. His body was perspiring from his form. His body was perspiring and his form was dejected. With his wives, the miserable king stood there looking towards his son. Okay, 954. I think we will pause here. Chapter 2, chapter 36 in the resume. Lot of descriptions, Allah. Lot of ಏನದು ಉಪಮಾಲಂಕಾರ, ಉಪಮೇಯ ಮೆಟಫರ್ಸ್
Upama.
ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲೀಸ್. So lots of those.
But when it's written like this with lot of descriptions, it's more interesting to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll stop the sharing. Any other thoughts, questions, anything else? We're just going with that flow. In the next cardal ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, I think all our philosophical contemplations, we'll see if anything comes along. Okay.
Actually, one thing I noticed, I don't know if it makes sense, but when Dasharatha says, I mean, I could relate to it. Like when Dasharatha says, in ಒಂದಿನ ಇದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಿನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. Sometimes, maybe, I don't know about others, but even I do that. In ಒಂದಿನ ನಾಳೆಯಿಂದ something, that procrastination attitude, and Rama immediately says no, and the reason he gives is also that in ಒಂದಿನ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಹೆಂಗು ನಾಡಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. And also he also like maybe if I stay for one more day, maybe I will change my mind anta. But I should go anta.
Yeah,
That one I really
Uh,
uh,
yeah, anything
like.
can happen. Yeah, yeah. Before even he can change his mind, or Lakshmana can change his mind and do something to Kaikeyi, right? So
Yeah.
anything can happen. Allah. So yeah, that's a good point to learn. Good. So and sometime soon, I think maybe next week ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. I have been doing a lot of behavioral sessions in my company, 1 hour sessions ಸುಮಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ about 20 ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ. 20 ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್, ಆಲ್ ಒನ್ ಅವರ್ದು 20 ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಕ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ different things. Of course, there are like there's body language analysis, one session ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. Assertive communication ಮೇಲೆ how to strongly say no, when you're not able to say no to someone, ಆ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ I wanted to do that open house also. So ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ I thought I'll announce it, and it'll be like how we are having this. Of course, ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. I'll have a separate time slot for that. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆವೋ ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ, ಬಟ್ 1 hour ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್, ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ 1 hour ಆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್, maybe once a week or once every fortnightly or something. So interest ಇರೋರು please feel free to join, right? So our 20 topics are done ಈಗ so far. ಇನ್ನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so everything, I mean all soft skills, starting from negotiation skills can be used everywhere. ಬರೀ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬರೀ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೆಗೋಷಿಯೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅವರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ವಿ ನೆಗೋಷಿಯೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅವರ್ ಇನ್-ಲಾಸ್, ಅವರ್ ಸಿಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಅವರ್ ಸ್ಪೌಸಸ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ನೆಗೋಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ, ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಾನು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಥರ, subscription package. Sir, of course, here people who are here, you can please feel free to attend just like that. This is for outside public, yeah. Because there are so many of these 99 rupees courses, 199 courses ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಏನೇನೋ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ I thought I'll launch something like that sometime soon. I think probably in the next 2 weeks I'll be launching it. Okay, so and it will keep going on. I think I'll need a full year to complete all those. There's so many topics. Okay, so I will invite you all also to speak about your areas of expertise also, adರಲ್ಲಿ, if you're happy to be a part of that. Okay, fine. All right, ಮುಗಿಸೋಣ. ವೆಲ್, ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಡ. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾವವತು ಸಹನೌ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ओम शांति शांति शांति. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. हरिः ॐ. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. Thank you all. See you next Thursday. Okay. Good night. See you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night. Thank you all.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.